Day Runners, and we're continuing our look at the escalation data pack from the flashpoint cycle. Now we're looking at the corp cards, starting with Bioroid. Got a new Bioroid piece of ice here, Fairchild 3.0, cost of 6 and strength of 5. The runner can spend 3 clicks to break up to 3 subroutines on Fairchild 3.0. And the subroutines are the runner must pay 3 credits or trash one of his or her installed cards. The runner must pay 3 credits or trash one of his or her installed cards. And do 1 brain damage or end the run. So it's with strength of 5, if you can get this out early and get it activated early, you can force the runner to lose all those clicks or take the brain damage. Otherwise though, it's just a fairly strong piece of ice. Next we have a new operation, Arc Lockdown. Cost of 1. Name a card, remove all copies of that card in the heap from the game. Not that useful unless your opponent's running a deck where they use a lot of their cards from their heap and keep recycling them. So you could just wipe out their economy cards or their card draw and just keep that out of their hands. That's not too bad, but I don't think they'll see that much of these. Next we have Helion Beta Test. Operation Black Ops, cost of 1. Play only if the runner trashed an accessed corp card during his or her last turn. Trace 2. If successful, trash 2 installed non-programmed cards. If unsuccessful, take 1 bad publicity. So after the runner's trashed one of your accessed cards, you can do this, and if you've got a way to boost the trace, that'd be good. Because if it succeeds, you can trash 2 installed non-programmed cards. That means resources, hardware, all sorts of things like that, which could be useful to get rid of the runner's console, or some of the resources they really badly need for card draw or economy. But on downsides is if it fails, you'll take the bad publicity. Next we move on to Techies with a new agenda, Project Kusanagi. Cost of 2, no agenda points though. Agenda security. When you score Project Kusanagi, place 1 agenda counter on it for each advancement token on it over 2. Posted agenda counter can be used for choose 1 piece of ice to gain, do 1 net damage after all its other subroutines for the remainder of this run. So you add a do 1 net damage subroutine every agenda counter you use. So theoretically, if you'd put a whole load of advancement counters on this and gotten loads of agenda counters, you could give a piece of ice a huge number of do 1 net damage subroutines, because it doesn't say you can't use more than 1. There's no clicks there. Like for example with this next one. New piece of ice for Techies. DNA tracker, cost of 8, strength of 6, and has do 1 net damage, the runner loses 2 credits, do 1 net damage, the runner loses 2 credits, and do 1 net damage, the runner loses 2 credits. That's a fairly strong piece of ice, and it's got a fairly good strength as well, but if you were to use Project Kusanagi's agenda counters, you could add a whole number of extra do 1 net damage to it, so a good strong piece of ice. And now we come to Techies' new identity. Techies Potential Unleashed, Identity Megacorp, 4512. Whenever the runner takes at least 1 net damage, trash the top card of the stack. Now this is huge. This is possibly my new favourite Techies identity, because that means that whenever your super spiky Techies deck does damage to the runner for the first time, then you're going to be trashing the top card of their stack. So you're working through their stack even faster, and you're hopefully costing them the cards they need. Next we move on to NBN with Alexa Belsky, Asset Character. Trasher, shuffle all cards in HQ into R&D. The runner may pay any number of credits to prevent 1 random card in HQ from being shuffled into R&D for every 2 credits spent. So what this means is that you can shuffle, if the runner knows you've got an agenda in your hand, you can shuffle it into R&D and hopefully prevent them from stealing it. Now the runner can prevent you from doing this by paying 2 credits for each card they don't want put back into R&D. The problem is it will be a random card, so they'll have, if they want to make sure that you still have that card in your hand, then they'll have to pay as many credits as you've got cards, times 2. Next we have Observe and Destroy. Cost of 0, Operation Grey Ops. Play only if the runner has fewer than 6 credits. As an additional cost to play this operation, remove 1 tag. And it's trash 1 installed card. So you can just outright trash one of the runner's cards, just as long as they have a tag and not much credits. So it's very situational, but if you can get the right situation, you can play this basically for free, and you can trash any one of their cards. Next we have Service Outage. Cost of 1 operation current. This card is not trashed until another current is played or an agenda is stolen. As an additional cost to make this first run on his or her turn, even through a card ability, the runner must spend 1 credit. So you're basically making the runner have to spend even more to make their runs on your servers. And that even counts for when they use the card runs. So it could be handy. Next we come on to Wayland Corp, and this is possibly my new favourite card of the set. Boom. Cost of 4, Operation Double, Black Ops. Play only if the runner has at least 2 tags. As an additional cost to play this operation, spend a click. Do 7 meat damage. It has a trash cost of 1, and I think the runner, if they ever came across this, would definitely want to trash it because it basically ends the game. Even says so right there in the flavor text. Game over. Now this is an amazing card. It takes a little bit of setup since you have to make sure the runner has at least 2 tags, and you have to have 2 clicks to use it. But if you get this off, then it's basically game over. You've won. And I can see whole decks being built around this, especially with this next card, Door to Door. Operation Current Black Ops, cost of 3. This card is not trashed until another current is played or an agenda is stolen. When the runner's turn begins, trace 1. If successful, do 1 meat damage. If the runner is tagged, otherwise, give the runner 1 tag. So every time the runner's turn starts, you're either hopefully doing meat damage to them, or giving them a tag if they don't already have one. And you will do that every single turn. Now that's going to drain the runner's resources, just to stop you getting that trace on them. And if you boost the trace, you can make sure it's happening every turn, which puts them in even better position for getting this off. So I definitely think there's going to be a deck built around this tactic. Finally, we come on to the neutral cards, which is Scarcity of Resources. Cost of 1, Operation Current. This card is not trashed until another current is played and an agenda is stolen. The install cost of each resource is increased by 2. So that's just another way of harming the runner's economy. If every single resource they play has to have 2 more to its cost. So I think that would be very handy in a good number of decks that want to limit the runner's economy. I can see a lot of potential here for a lot of new decks. I'm certainly looking forward to trying the Wayland one. But that's all for this time, Netrunners. We'll see you next time, and remember to like and subscribe.